How y'all doing? For this review, I'm going to do another Battletech novel here. The first one I did is a Decision at Thunder Rift, which was the first Battletech book ever written, and this was part of a trilogy. But this one's going to be a standalone. This is Ideal War. Now, to understand something here, a lot of the wars in the Battletech universe that happens that you could play at when you would play the miniature game or Mechwarrior or what have you, a lot of them parallel wars from Earth. Like I was told that the succession wars were World War I and World War II, that sort of thing. This one does parallel an American war that happened. And what it is deals with a guy named, main character is Captain Paul Masters. He is of House Merrick. Now, Thomas Merrick, the head of the household, is forming together a group of Mechwarriors to form a knighthood, the Knights of the Inner Sphere. This way, they're not going to be like, common mercenaries or what have you. They're going to hold up to some virtuous ideas as they go into battle. And, he gathers them all together and, they become the knighthood. He convinces Paul Masters of this idea that he has of the romantic ideals and the chivalry of knights as mech warriors. He had him read Le Morte, I forget the name of this. It's an actual book, Le Morte de Arthur. I know I botched that title there, but I think Thomas Mallory. And what was it? Oh, Les Mots d'Arthur, by Thomas Mallory. Okay, that's right. Sorry if I botched that up. Okay, so he has him read through this, and Paul Masters is convinced, so he joins Merrick's, new, group of knights. He's called Sir, and the ladies are dames, and they're all mech warriors, and they're going to hold up Merrick's ideals, when they're sent out here. Okay, so his first job. There's this world that is having a problem with these guerrilla fighters. Thomas Merrick first hears about this through an old friend who's part of this religion called the Word of Blake. So then he tells him the situation, also talks to a duchess who was running the planet as well. And apparently, this nice little planet is being overwhelmed by some of the local guerrilla fighters against them. Now, the situation is such to where Thomas Merrick allows the Word of Blake, which is a separate group that separates itself from Comstar for religious purposes. It is a religion, and he says, "Okay, you guys can settle here. It's religious tolerance, what have you." And because of that, apparently there's been some issues with them, and apparently these guerrilla fighters are causing havoc, for them and for other reasons. So Paul Masters is sent there as a mech warrior to help them out there, as also representative of these New Order of Knights. And apparently the standards of war are not ideal, as the title says. So what he finds out is that, on his first mission, he meets up with a hovercraft while he's traveling in his mech. They find these bodies hanged, and they're booby trapped. He can't understand what's going on around here. But then he finds out, on base, that in order to get to these guerrilla fighters, they have to send a small group of men in a hovercraft till they get attacked. Then the mech warriors show up and annihilate them, and they count the bodies. And that's all, and they think it's successful. But then the guerrillas come by, and as guerrilla fighters do, and just hit them hard and do devastating numbers of that. So the guerrillas are hitting them hard, and they're just trying to kill as many as they can just to count numbers so they can report back to their superiors and say, "Hey, things are going great. They're losing all these numbers." Very cold and calculated. And of course, if probably some of you have already figured out, this is Vietnam. That's what this is a Battletech novelization of Vietnam. And Paul Masters is sickened by this because it's costing them numbers, and they're just inflating the number. And on his side, they're just inflating the numbers to make them look good and not accomplishing anything. And so now this whole book, he's trying to figure out what exactly is going on, who's all involved. It's a much more mixed bag than what it is. Why are the guerrillas fighting, and why is it that the people running the show, the Duchess, a guy named Singh, who is an elected official about the whole area, and also the Word of Blake, what are they all trying to get to them? It's been this complicated matter. So that's the very premise of it. And I will admit, as I enjoyed Decision of Thunder Rift, I found this a very quick read. Just a couple days ago, I went from page 100 to the last page. Throughout the day, it's about 280 pages long. It's very, it's very fast. And a few things about it, it's actually illustrated. I like that. It's it's not fully illustrated, but you get bits moments like this. This is the main character, Paul Masters. I'm sorry about light reflect on that. Yeah, and just every once in a while, here's the knights forming together the first time, Knights of the Inner Sphere, and what have you. Now, like Decision of Thunder Rift, it does have a part where it shows the mechs that are in it. But the only problem was, just fair warning, if you get a copy like I have, while some of the mechs they show here do exist, there's some of them that do not. They showed a Locust and a Marauder. They're not in this story that I've read, or at least if they are, they're in passing. Definitely not the Marauder. Wasp are mentioned, and all that, but don't describe all of them. So, fortunately, in today's internet age, there's a Wikipedia page of nothing but Battletech Sarna. I'll link it down below. So if you ever pick up this book and start reading it, it is you can what's that type of mech? You can type and look it up. So it's as simple as that. So. And the title, it's pretty straightforward. It's nothing groundbreaking, but entertaining. I'll give it this. Where you have a man who's raised to be a noble knight with all the virtues and set an example to the group that he's a part of the household he works for, and he's into this war that is, there is no proper ideals. They attack factories when they're against it. They're going against, they go against what agreed upon treaties that, for instance, they're destroying factories where they're usually against that, and what have you. So he comes in here with these ideals, and he's in a war that doesn't have any, where anything goes. Kill women and children. Well, they, obviously you don't do that, but then again, the women and children are the ones also with guns and killing them as well. What is he to do? How is he going to solve this? That's the issue right here. So again, if you want a good recommended Battletech, Decisions on the Rift, I'm sure the next two, I don't have the other two books. I'll probably get those in time to complete the trilogy. And, this has been entertaining, but I have to say, for a good standalone, this one also works if you want to be, want a good book that influences you into the world of Battletech or Mechwarrior if you're into that. And there you go. So, oh, by the way, even a cover, which I think is a common theme, despite, the covers don't necessarily show what the events in the book. I've not read one. That one's the Awesome, and that's a Marauder. Neither of this is a scene in the story. I just want to show cool artwork, and yes, this is Boris. Oh, just FYI, I think this is Boris Vallejo. Yep, Boris. Yep. So there you go. Just Ideal War. The author's name is Christopher Kubasik. Unlike Decision of Thunder Rift, you should be able to get a physical copy of this at a nice regular cheap price, as paperbacks like this do. Catalyst Game Labs does sell a copy of it. I think it's an actual copy, but it doesn't say which format it is on their website. It's a lot better than Decision of Thunder Rift, where this has run me at $25. I got this at a much more reasonable price at a used bookstore. So there you go. Just Ideal War. If you're into Battletech, you're now playing the new I think Harebrained Schemes has produced a new game on that. If you want to read some of the novels, definitely recommend this one. I think this is one of the ones Razor Fist suggested as well. So there you go. Ideal War by Christopher Kubasik. Thank you all for watching. You have a nice day.